Hello, sports fan. This is Steven Hill for JustMyPicks.com, and I'm bringing you a very special breakdown of the NFC Championship game between the Green Bay Packers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Before I get right into that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates for every single playoff game that we have breaking down this season. So without further ado, let's get right into the game action. As of course, we know the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons will be in this year's NFC Championship game. And you're looking at some of the things that we saw from Aaron Rodgers. Big play, Aaron Rodgers, several different plays down the stretch to make sure that the Green Bay Packers not only made it to the championship game, but the guy's on fire. You look at exactly what he's been doing since they was on that winning streak going into the playoffs, and then when he gets into the playoffs, how he's carving up defenses, how his makeshift offensive line is not very good, but at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is making plays. He's dancing inside and outside of the pocket. He's taking what defense is giving him, and then he's making something much more of it. The Atlanta Falcons, on the other hand, the defense stepped up in a couple of ways against the Seattle Seahawks, but then you look at the offense. The offense has been profound throughout the year, one of the best of all time, if not the greatest offense inside a dome. And you're looking just at what this team can do. This is going to be a shootout, people. You got to keep in mind that on both sides of the ball, you do have potent offenses. For the Atlanta Falcons, you're looking at Vic Beasley and Dwight Freeney. You're depending on two pass rushers, Vic, who is just really coming on this year as far as overall progress and overall stat-wise. And you're looking at a former great player, Dwight Freeney, who literally is almost 40 years old, but is still getting the job done and creating somewhat of a pass rush for the Falcons. The defense is opportunistic for the Falcons. They're not elite in any way, but they're serviceable. You look at just the pedigree of what they've been able to do. They beat a former Super Bowl champion in the Seahawks. I think that age caught up to the Seahawks. Injuries also caught up to them also in a couple of ways. So that made beating the Seahawks for the Falcons a little bit easier. You look at that offense, Julio Jones. He's not fully healthy, but he's going to get his. You also look at the running back by committee. They have a two-headed running back in Atlanta. Matt Ryan has really been the MVP of that team for the whole season for the most part. But when it's going to come down to it, can the Green Bay Packers get a couple of stops? Can they slow this offense down just enough so they can put Aaron Rodgers in the driver's seat, if you will, to get some offensive scores? So I think that Julius Peppers has to step up in this game. You look at overall that scheme that they play, it very riddled with injuries on the Green Bay side. So I think that they're going to have to be creative in what way that they play defense against the Atlanta Falcons, because the Atlanta Falcons can go off in many different ways with many different players. So whether it be the two tight ends that are very talented, whether it be the wide receiver core that's pretty good, or the two-headed running back. Atlanta can do a lot of things. So it's going to be a very close game. Just looking overall at everything, but I have to go with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I think that they're going to pull off a couple of stops. It may not be many, but they're going to have their foot on the gas pedal on the driver's seat for most of this game. I think that if they can get the ball first and they can score, they put that pressure on Atlanta to not only score, but to keep pace with them. I think that both these teams overall have lots of talent top to bottom. I think that you're going to see a lot of creative ways that the Packers use a lot of their players. If Jordy Nelson does not play for the rest of the year, that could be troublesome for the Packers, but I think that they have enough wide receiver weapons and enough weapons just overall with Aaron Rodgers to be able to pull out this victory. I think it's going to be a close shootout, but I'm picking the Packers to win this game. What do you Packers fans think? What do you Atlanta Falcons fans think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Check out Just My Picks for all the breaking news on the hottest updates of sports. And as always, please check us out next week. We're breaking down the Super Bowl. Thank you so very much, and we'll see you next week.